Welcome to the Bacon Pancast featuring Jake's Meatloaf. It's an Adventure Time podcast, and we are Jake's Meatloaf. I'm Tulip.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chan. Oh my god.
So what a week we missed, huh, guys?
Yeah, we kind of missed. I kind of foresaw that this was going to happen because episodes 7 and 8 were like the biggest episodes in season 1 of Fionna and Cake, and episodes 6 and 7 tend to be the biggest episodes in the Adventure Time miniseries as well. So it made perfect sense that we would skip a recording on. Well, I don't know if people would say that episode 7 was the biggest episode.
No, but it was my favorite one.
It's so good!
It was a ridiculous episode, for sure.
It's ridiculously good.
But we're here now. We're going to be talking about The Wolves Who Wandered and The Bug That Sang. Wolves Who Wandered, in which DJ Flame is missing, so Fionna and Fennel look for him while getting high and they almost kiss. Meanwhile, Huntress Wizard asks for Hunter's help and they actually find DJ Flame at the Lemon Carbs. And in The Bug That Sang, Fionna and Huntress Wizard are tried for the murder of Cosmic Owl, and they get out of it by pinning the blame on Finn. Meanwhile, Cake saves the fundraiser, Marshall sang a new song, and it was all a big success until Fionna ruins everything.
Oh no!
Alright, we'll see you guys next week. That was the...
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Those are the big ideas. Now we can get into it.
That's what a lot of reviews are, though. They just, summarize the episode. Yeah, this is what happened in the episode. Bye-bye. And I'm like, why did you bother making a video? I could have just watched the episode. But wow, we were going to call this podcast Fennel Hour because there's certainly a shining star in these 2 episodes, isn't there?
Let me tell you, I do think we have to try a little bit more than usual to be concise in this episode, because I could talk about Fennel specifically by myself for an entire hour, so, so be careful.
DJ Flames sucks. He sucks so much. He's terrible. I'm so sorry, Tulip. He's terrible.
Why are you sorry to Tulip about that?
Because Tulip really wanted Flame Prince to not be a terrible person, because Flame Princess deserves better.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a realistic person, I don't think he's, singularly terrible, but he did suck in that moment when he kissed Fionna.
Well, not just that moment, also, the moment where he, ran away all night and didn't leave a single phone call, and then his girlfriend thought that he was a missing person.
What were the lemon carbs, gassing him with?
I thought it was just heat.
Coffee.
What?
It was coffee. Yeah, because they had low tempo and high tempo, so he was on low tempo without coffee, and then when they wanted it to be high tempo, they gassed him with coffee. Yeah. And at first I thought it was the scalding heat that made him wake up, but actually I think it's the caffeine that ultimately woke him up.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That makes sense. Remind me how the first one starts, because I rewatched that one last week.
This begins with another bit that was not guest animated bit. There's another exception for this season, where Ellis has a dream about aliens visiting him.
Oh yeah.
Which made me think, how I Remember You just has enough force to push out anything else. Just because it's such a powerful Adventure Time episode. You know what else is like that? High Strangeness.
Oh my god.
Yes! I love High Strangeness. So I heard things about this episode. I was given warnings about episode 7. And I was like, what on earth can be in this episode that is worse than episode 4? Was it episode 4 that I really didn't
4
like?
was the worst one so far for us.
Yeah, and I was like, what can be worse than episode 4? And then it opened up with this scene with LSP being spoken to by aliens, and I was like, oh boy, we're in for a good one.
They warned you, they were like, this is going to be bad?
They said it was certainly an episode. And I was like, that sounds damning.
Okay. No, I think The Wolves Who Wandered is the peak result of what you could get from this season being sort of a return to the classic Adventure Time format.
That's
of just
exactly
fucking
what I would
around
say.
sometimes. Because almost nothing plot relevant happens in this episode, but like it does feel like it was almost written specifically to appeal to me. I loved it.
Yeah, so Fiona thinks Flame Prince hasn't shown up, so Fiona has like this vision of Fennel doing doing a bitchy little giggle at her, because Fiona's mentality is really warped, and like Cake says, Fiona, you imagine things to be how you want them to be.
Yeah.
So she like goes on a rampage and goes to take Flame Prince back from Fennel, and then she gets there, and Fennel is having a breakdown and begs her for help because Flame Prince hasn't showed up all day, and you see Flame Prince's cats. He has loads of orange cats.
Yeah, that's cute.
This is a reference to Flame Prince's backstory in the Fionna and Cake comic. Now.
Yep, another one, and also same deal. When Fiona and Fennel are hallucinating later, the thing that they think is DJ Flame is like a little lion, and it's like, yeah, he is. He's always been a lion. I was also thinking that the cats could be like little flambeaus, and that's what they could be an additional reference to.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Fennel and Fiona like meet each other for 5 seconds. They go to get Huntress Wizard's help, but they mutually decide to get hot dogs first. And you can see instantaneously how on the same page they are in a way that's like significantly more attuned than I think Finn and Fur were. Mostly because I think Adventure Time like to emphasize how different Finn and Fern were, whereas Fiona and Fennel already are completely different people. So this show needs to emphasize what makes them similar. But yeah, they go to Huntress Wizard and she's like, I guess I'll help you find him. And then she gives them wizard eyes using a weird plant. And when it doesn't instantaneously work, they take loads and loads of it. So this entire episode is Fennel and Fiona being extremely high.
Yeah.
And running into traffic.
Okay. Well, let me pause here. I want to talk about Huntress Wizard's Wizard Eyes leaf because I have lots of questions about it. Is this magic?
I guess it is. I guess she has access to magic.
Like, because I was under the impression that Huntress Wizard is like currently stripped of magic because of the whole heart situation. But like, there's an argument to be made that like her growing a little leaf out of her hand is basically the same thing as her growing into her like adult form out of her baby form, which she already did.
Yeah.
You know, in normal world. And that maybe it really is just weed, and weed is what gives you wizard eyes.
Huntress Wizard is made of weed.
But it seems like it's magic. It seems like it's probably magic. So like, I'm not sure about that one. I've been saying in previous podcasts that like I assume Huntress Wizard is like finding scraps to make her Huntress Wizard mask out of, but maybe she actually just gets it back. Maybe she like figured something out off screen and she has a little bit of magic now, but not as much as she wants.
It could be a whole mini-series what she's doing when she's not on screen.
It could be a whole mini-series what she's doing when she's not on screen. Why isn't it?
Okay, also, additionally, does this mean that Huntress Wizard doesn't normally have wizard eyes?
Yes, it does.
And if so, is that a difference between green wizards and city-style wizards?
I think it's just an Ice King thing.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever got confirmation that all wizards have wizard eyes, right? I mean, I know they're called wizard eyes, so...
Like, if you think about it, the wizard eyes make you see very disturbing things. I doubt all the wizards want to have wizard's eyes constantly.
Well, they don't want to, but, like, that's part of what makes you a wizard, you know? The magic and the madness.
Yeah.
There's an alternative explanation, which is that Ice King is constantly smoking weed.
Wow.
True. Okay, and lastly, I want to say, when Huntress Wizard uses her wizard eyes leaves, does she also get high?
I mean, she
Yes.
didn't take as much, right? So,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was just thinking that they took way too much. Like, seems like it might have come from a place of experience.
oh, probably.
Anyway, love it. Fiona and Fennel are running around, and they bump into Ellis, who explains, well, doesn't really explain anything, but does, like, say, oh, you're looking for someone? It's probably aliens.
So Ellis shows them his pictures of the Phoenicians, and I think that's an important thing to remember. So they do all that. They go into the fire, and the spirits are all telling them to go into the fire, which I take as a form of murder, in my opinion.
Attempted.
Yeah, attempted murder. The firefighters are all water nymphs from Adventure Time.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
fun. I noticed that as well.
They're all instead of being like really gorgeous beach babes in this world, they're really hunky firefighters.
I think one of the firefighters had a name. I think the one that spoke. Well, let me check.
See, once again, the important lore that we got to get to the bottom of.
Oh yeah, Dennis.
Dennis.
One of them was called Denise in Adventure Time.
Oh.
So Dennis
Oh.
is Denise.
I did not remember that.
Very straightforward conversion.
Sure.
I could be making that up.
No, that sounds
but I
right.
feel in my hero heart that it's correct.
I don't know like where that's said, but it sounds familiar to me.
Let me look this up. Water nymphs. Denise, a water nymph, is distinguished by her unique physical features. She has long hair, green-tinted skin, and a humanoid form. She's the Hinden Welsh water nymph.
All right.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, while Fiona and Fennel are having a calm moment trapped in the outhouse, they confirm our speculation last podcast about how Hunter used to be like more like Huntress Wizard, but then sort of grew out of that as part of their whole becoming an adult, or maybe transitioning. You read that in. Also, throwing egg in our face about having been wrong about their pronouns all along.
Oh, I know. I'm upset about that.
Yeah.
Last time we were talking about them, I was using he, him, and then I was like, oh shit, was I supposed to say they, them? And then I was like, I guess not.
See, I thought Hunter was a lay in the first season, because Hunter's actor was non-binary. But then the season was like doubling down on Hunter being like one of the hot guys that Fiona is after.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe Hunter, because Hunter has trans scars as well, maybe Hunter's meant to be masculine.
True, Fiona is the most bisexual woman ever. She has literally a crush on a man, like one man, one woman, and one other.
Yeah, true.
One non-binary person. Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. I guess Fiona has like a wife in this episode, fiance in this episode, which we'll move on to shortly. So, Fennel and so I really like this scene about Hunter because it shows that Hunter isn't just like. A lot of the characters in the Fiona world are much softer versions of their Adventure Time characters, but Hunter isn't just a softer version of Huntress Wizard. Hunter became a softer person and was originally a hard ass like Huntress Wizard is. Was originally potentially very mean. And Huntress Wizard goes to Hunter for directions later in this episode, and she's being very mean to them. She's being very nasty, but then Huntress Wizard takes a breath and says, I need your help. And then Hunter has a little knowing smile because Hunter recognizes that behavior from himself. They recognize that Huntress is trying, that this is Huntress's attempt at trying. So they agree to help, and they help Huntress find the correct place.
Yeah.
And the flowers that Hunter is looking after in this episode end up being extremely important to Huntress Wizard later on.
That's true. More important than DJ Flame seems to be to her, which is a little bit... I keep thinking about how, the broken tool seeks the flame. I mean, Fiona, clearly, especially the way the next episode ends up, must be the broken tool. which we had said before. I think it's just confirmation. But, like, the flame part of it seems, like, barely relevant.
I'm still waiting on that. I'm like, what's going on with that?
I feel like Huntress just has no idea what the fuck it even means. She's just like, the broken tool seeks the flame. Alright, what's that got to do with the heart? It's the only lead she has, so she's been following it the whole time.
Yeah, I really liked both those scenes, the outhouse one and then Huntress and Hunter. I thought they were both really nice. And Fennel's voice actress is great. I just had to say that. Yeah. I love them.
I can't believe they found, like, the feminine version of Fern's voice actor. Like Fennel's voice actress does such a good job at kind of sounding like Fern.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Do you think it's that she sounds like Fern and not that she sounds close enough to Fiona? That's what they were casting for? Like,
I mean, I think...
Because Fern's voice is such a perfect, like, thin but a little bit off.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, that's why it's, like, Fern, because it's like that for Fiona, too. Like, you're right about that.
So at this point, do they go into space? Right?
Space.
Yeah.
Yes, and then they get on the DDR transporter, which is a great set design thing, and I'm a little bit sad that we never got to see anyone, like, actually dancing on it.
Yeah, those things are from the episode Sons of Mars. Finn uses it, and it's powered by the emotion of love.
Not directly from, though. Like, it's like that thing, except it has the, like, Dance Dance Revolution, like, foot pads on it.
Yeah,
and like the back
which is a
handles
better design, in my opinion. But it also makes more sense because I guess they haven't seen the Adventure Time versions, so when they imagined them, they imagined these ones. But also because they're more energetic, I suppose, on Venus. So they travel to Venus. There's no giant hole in the middle of the planet, as far as I know. And there's no food. Was there any food in space?
I don't think so.
I don't think there was.
So it's Venus because Venus is like the opposite of Mars, I suppose.
Well, it's because, like, all the planets in the solar system have, like, symbols associated with them for some reason that I'm not entirely sure of. I mean, that might be that the symbols are from, like, the Roman gods and not specifically the planets. But anyway, the one for Mars is, like, literally the symbol that we use to mean, like, male, and the one for Venus is the symbol we use for female.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to do a gender swap of that.
Yeah, and it was quite great. And they land on Venus, and Fiona immediately slaps someone who takes it as a proposal and gives Fiona an engagement ring. And Fiona accepts the proposal so that she can have the engagement ring.
She's so excited about it.
She wants a ring.
Considering that she went to the planet to go and pick up, like, DJ Flame, she doesn't seem stressed out at all about a woman getting engaged with her.
I know.
So we see this whole scene.
The woman, the Fiona's temporary fiance on Venus, like, strikes me as looking quite similar to Flame Princess. Am I insane for thinking that?
No, you're not. She's got, like, a similar red hair, orange skin color palette. All of the Venusians are designed by Hannah K. Nystrom. You can tell just by how they look.
One of them reminded me of Warren Ampersand, and I was like, "Look, it's the guy." But I'm sure that was just a coincidence.
Who's Warren Ampersand again?
Jake's real dad.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that episode was boarded by Hannah K. Nystrom as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was one that was like, I think they were orange, but they had like the circle alien eyes. I don't know. I just thought that was cool.
Yeah, Hannah loves to draw very round things. Very round things. So the planet is polyamorous and powered by love, and then they see that Venus has the Queen of Venus has flame prints and has brainwashed him as the main source of love on Earth. And Fiona says, "We challenge you to a duel," and everyone goes, "Boo! You suck! The engagement is off." Oh, my heart despairs. And then Fennel
says, worth noting that instead of the statue of Abraham Lincoln from the Lincoln Monument, the Queen of Venus is the Venus de Milo.
Yeah.
Another known statue with Venus in it, which is convenient.
I didn't even realize that. I wasn't even thinking of Abraham Lincoln for some reason.
I didn't realize that Abe Lincoln was based on a statue. Maybe I should have known that, but I'm not.
Well, yeah, you're not from here. It's fine.
Before we move past it, was that song a Rebecca Sugar song? Because I didn't see anything.
No, it was Patrick McHale, actually. It went uncredited in the episode.
I noticed that. I was looking for it in the credits, and I was like, that's weird that it doesn't have the little slide the way that the Rebecca Sugar song from before and the Evil song from this one does.
Yeah, it must have been a mistake, which is unfortunate because it's a great song.
Yeah, it had Rebecca Sugar vibes. That's why I was looking in the credits and I was like, oh, guess not. So they go to an arena of love?
Yeah, they go to an arena of love, and then we just sort of get like Fiona shaking the sword as the little lady is pole dancing on the sword to get her to select it. This reminded me a lot of Steven Universe, this scene.
Yeah, well, the whole Venus segment, it reminded me like of the like last arc of Steven Universe original series where they were on Homeworld, because of the way that there is just sort of like, okay, now you're thrust into this alien culture and everything is like cute and weird and we're not going to explain things really. And also, it was none of the people who worked on this episode, but in those episodes of Steven Universe had some Adventure Time people on them. I think it was Tom Herpick, Penn Ward, and Adam Muto did storyboarding. So it's like, yeah, the vibes matching between this and that make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and Adam Muto is obviously creative director of this series as well.
Yeah.
So there is a connection there as well. But yeah, that's exactly right. Just all of these little ladies just being everywhere and in everything.
So Fiona fights a scary heart guy.
Yeah, and then we learn about like Fennel's true feelings here.
Yes. Well, first, as an aside, do you think this heart guy, whose name I think, according to the credits, is Embelina, do we think that this is supposed to be a gender swap Ricardio?
That's what I was thinking, like, when it first showed up, but then I was kind of like, probably not.
You know that Ricardio is like some sort of incel existing in the world right now?
Do you think like femcel human Ricardio like is related to Simone somehow?
No, because the lemon carbs aren't related to Gary Gumbel.
Yeah, I guess that's
and
fair.
Fennel isn't related to Fiona.
True.
No, very not. Because as we learn in this scene where they have to like say things that they love in order to power themselves up in this fight, Fennel reveals that, she says, I've always looked up to you. And this is it, man. This is the whole thing. I was saying before that I was so curious about, like, who this version of Fern is and, like, why is she the way she is in this world, despite, apparently not being related to Fiona at all. Like, we got an episode about it. This is it. This is an insane thing to say because, girl, why? Fiona, Fiona saved the world, like, maybe 2 weeks ago. But before that, like, she was a nobody and a loser.
That's true, actually.
Like, Fiona was saying, like, she was just sort of assuming, oh, who's this girl who's dating DJ Flame now? She's like a copycat of me. Just like because she was mad, but that she was right is the thing. That's why Fennel is like this, because she spies on Fiona or something and decides to copy her.
There's even more to this, right? So originally Hannah wrote a line, "I've admired you for years."
Is there a storyboard out or something?
Yeah, there is. There's some storyboard notes. Not an entire storyboard, but Hannah posted some storyboard notes. And then Adam Muto drew a line for it and said, has she known her long enough to say that? And so they changed it to, I've admired you forever, for so long, right? But it sort of like implies either way that either Fennel has a complex about Fiona, or Fennel has known Fiona for way longer than Fiona has known Fennel and has a complex about Fiona. And you know what? It would make sense. It would make some sense because Fiona is her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, first of all. And she's also friends with Hunter now. And she saved the world. It does make sense, though, that Fennel would have such strong emotions about Fiona after just 2 weeks. Considering what kind of character Fern was, I can absolutely see it happening.
I guess. I prefer the stalker interpretation.
Yeah, she's clearly some sort of Fiona stalker. But there's also an interesting point to be raised about Hunter as well. So, one of the first things, I think one of the first things Hunter does is try to give flowers to Fiona in the first episode of Fionna and Cake, or something like that. Fiona must give Hunter Fennel vibes, right? And Hunter clearly has a thing for Fennel, but Fennel is dating Flame, so Hunter is automatically drawn to Fiona, who is also wanting to date Flame. So the fucking Flame guy just keeps taking all of the girls that Hunter wants to land on.
I liked the line right before the arena that was just like, "I'm not a badass like you," and she's like, "I'm not." I don't remember exactly what she said. I think she said, "I'm just violent and impulsive." Like that's.
I'm not.
Yeah.
She compared herself to Finn.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's true. It's a good comparison.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to be like Finn. I mean, look where he is right now.
Yeah.
In jail and dying.
Yeah, I did think on my second viewing of this, when I watched both of these episodes together to write my notes about them, that Fiona, like, comparing herself to Finn as a fighter might mean that she, like obviously when she accuses him of murder, she is doing a selfish thing, but I wonder if she also, believes that he can take it. Like, he's strong enough and he'll find a way out of it, and so it's not actually that bad.
No, but I think what was on Fiona's mind in that scene is that she needed to get herself and Huntress out of this immediately, and the only thing that came to her was blaming Finn. And it felt right, because it got them out of their immediate situation. That's kind of how Fiona works. She's not got a good hero's instinct whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
All of her instincts are added to room. But what she doesn't know is that she has this in common with Finn. Like, if you look at Finn, every one of his instincts just keeps leading to his death in the episodes, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at Adventure Time proper, Finn makes those terrible decisions. What Fiona doesn't realise, and this gets brought up by Fennel earlier in the episode, some of these people, she thinks they were born cool and well-adjusted and normal, but actually, they walked some very difficult paths. Hunter walked a very difficult path, and Finn has walked an incredibly difficult path. And he's still walking it, he's still lost in it. She doesn't know that, so she's comparing herself to someone who hasn't got his shit together at all. But I might be reading too much into it.
I like it.
So Fennel's like, so what about me? What do you like about me?
I just met you.
She wants Fiona to feel strongly about her like she does about Fiona. She doesn't realise that all of her thoughts come across as stalker behaviour.
I mean, well, they don't. They don't to Fiona, because Fiona's like, hey, you're cool, actually. I want to be friends with you, and then that's what gets them out of it.
Yeah, it is really nice that she did want to be friends with her, even though she thought that Fennel would be an obstacle. And then they do it, Fennel gets really strong, even bigger than Fiona is, actually. And they defeat the robot and take Flame back into space, and this is when the scene happens. They gaze affectionately into each other's eyes as if they realise what's been missing in their lives the entire time, and they turn into Fiona World, Fiona and Fennel, for a moment.
Like their original sort of versions, which is the first time we would ever have seen Fennel like this.
Yeah, exactly. We get our first glance of Fiona World Fennel.
I had a friend talk about this scene. They were like, I freaked out when I realized that that Fennel is the Fern version, or is Fiona World version of Fern. And I was like, I thought everyone knew that. Like,
Yeah.
But it's just a difference, I guess, between us and them.
The fact that this is the first time people would figure it out makes me feel a bit more forgiving about the Mr. Cupcake scene.
I know, exactly.
But yes, they're staring lovingly at each other, and they're getting closer, and they almost reach the point of contact, but then they drop flame and they start freaking out about it.
Don't they say "you're beautiful" to each other?
They do. And then they look like they're about to make out, and then they drop flame prints in this hilarious scene.
It is a really funny scene.
And then they start crying and hugging each other and sobbing about how bad they feel. But they're still... But then Cake finds them, and they're actually crying at the top of a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, and what gets them back to reality is apparently Huntress Wizard smearing some orange goo on them, which is like cool that she has that, I guess.
The opposite of Wizard Eyes weed is Cheeto dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It raises a lot of questions about how real is any of this? I mean, Ellis saw the same stuff.
Yeah. So evidently not real. All of their specific experience, that was a hallucination. But on some level, it must have some mistaken reality, because yes, Ellis did see all of the exact same stuff.
No, there's a reason for that. Didn't I bring this up at the beginning of our recording? Ellis showed off his drawings of the Phoenicians.
That makes sense.
So they saw the drawings of the Phoenicians immediately before they got high enough to go to Venus.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
And the fact that they had a shared hallucination, that's not even an anomaly in this world. Everybody is just having shared dreams all of the time now.
Well, apparently so, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so even if they were both, dreaming, they could have the same dream. Because they were locked in together. So
it's a perfect coincidence that Venus is the gender-bent version of Mars as well, even though it wasn't real, supposedly.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't.
Maybe it was real for Ellis.
Yeah.
I still feel like some part of it, must be the dream, message that Ellis chose not to receive. That felt like it wasn't just, his brain interpreting stuff from his life. That felt like it might have been something.
It might even still be relevant. It might come back later.
I talked about high strangeness earlier, because my first thought was that the women who visit Ellis might be the Fiona World versions of the gray aliens who visit tree trunks. But my second thought, which I feel has more, might be more likely, is that they might be the Fiona World version of Dream Spirit Warrior. They kind of have a similar silhouette, but more humanoid, obviously. And delivering a dream message in that way could mean something.
I agree with that. I do remember them having a similar shape, so that's funny. Remind me, is it this episode that Marshall finds out that Simone got a restraining order against her?
Oh yeah, it was.
Yes, that's right. So they go back home. There's this really sad moment where Fennel and Fiona realise the whole thing was a dream, and their established bro bond or romantic bond is based somewhat on false pretenses. So they pretend that it didn't happen, which makes them both really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marshall gives Fiona a phone call, and Fiona's like, "Well, that's messed up, Marshall, but we're gonna go ahead with the gig without you." And Marshall realizes in this moment that he was just a very small part of Fiona's scheme.
I know. This scene was so well written. It hurts to watch, because everything that Fiona is saying is true and actually reasonable in terms of running the event. If even if Marshall doesn't want to do it, they still have to go through with it. It's too close to cancel, and like they still need the money. But saying it the way that she did, and that Fiona is doing it for him, like she is, but really she's doing it for her. And like the fact that she's not considering his feelings, like comes through so well here.
She's just being awful. I mean, I'll get onto this later when we get to the end of the next episode, obviously. But oh my god.
Fiona needs to prove that she's the hero that Gary thinks she is.
Yeah.
That she needs to prove that she's not a loser. She needs to prove that she can beat Queenie, and that she is the one who has to do it. Because if she doesn't do it, then she can't prove herself. And she also needs to prove that she can win Flame back as well. Like, she's doing all of this to appease herself, because she's got there's way more to talk about with this in the next episode, shortly. But she's got a lot of unresolved issues and is dealing with them in perhaps the worst way that she can.
Yes.
And she's like losing sight of the friends around her. Like she doesn't. She's so obsessed with getting the sweet spot that she doesn't think of any other alternative paths. They must have this specific patch of land. They must get it specifically with this fundraiser.
And poor Marshall, like, I feel like, I mean, like, Gary is affected too, but Marshall specifically, like, where she's like, can you play a shorter set, or you don't mind, right? And then makes Marshall go to his mom's play, like, just like this. I feel like she would have known by then that they weren't talking, but it's just like, yeah, I don't care about that boundary. And then it's just like, yeah, you don't need to be there. It's like, oh my god. Stop.
Yeah. Well, let me just say broadly, before we can get into it shortly, as we will. I am a big supporter of women's wrongs. I love asshole sure. Fiona. I want to see her destroy her life even more. It's really fun to watch.
Can she do it even more than she already has?
There's still time.
I agree. I don't really read many discussions, but like, I think I've read certain things that just pop up where people are like, this is bad because Fiona's awful. And I'm like, really? Because I think it's great because she's awful. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I would see accept people be frustrated too, but like, you're supposed to be frustrated. Like, that's the point.
Yeah.
Well, I when we started this season, I was like, wow, Fiona really has no likable characteristics at all, does she? And I was complaining about it, which that's fair. But I wouldn't say that the same still stands. I'd say that she has plenty of likable. She's done plenty of virtuous things at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you can sort of see much better now where she's coming from with all of these fucking issues and terrible things that she's doing. And I think there's respect to be had for that, because everything is just too much for her at the moment. So she's trying to barrel forward through it all rather than sitting back and thinking about any of it. So she's not thinking about the consequences of any of her actions at all. And Marshall is probably the number one. Marshall is a key victim of this, and so is Fennel as well. When Fiona follows her instincts, she just ends up hurting the people around her because her head is not in a good place right now.
Yeah, I was kind of... This was off topic, but I was going to say before we moved on from this episode, I feel like we glazed over the fact that Marshall's mom put a fucking restraining order against Simone. To
be fair, it just sort of felt kind of contrived.
What, the restraining order?
That whole... Yeah. Like, we need a reason for Marshall to hate his mother even more. So, yeah, this whole thing. And I'm like, we don't know anything about Simone's relationship with Marshall. We can only infer it based on Simon's relationship with Marceline. So... I felt like that element in particular was not necessary. We already know what Hannah's like. We already know she's a terrible person. Marshall could have said, I'm dropping out as soon as he found out about the mausoleum, and he didn't. But they needed a reason for Simone to have stopped talking to Marshall as well. Yeah, I didn't I didn't vibe well with that plot element at all.
I didn't hate it. I mean, it was fine.
Yeah, I think it was fine, and then I think in the next episode when they talk again, it was really cute. So I think it worked out for that.
I just like, what's her name? Gray, is it Gray
Delisle?
Gray Delisle?
Sorry. I think she did a great job. I loved her Simone. I don't know. I even had to like make sure it was her. I know it sounds like her, but I was just like, I'm not used to hearing her and not being like, it's Azula from Avatar. Just
Yeah.
Was anyone else a little bit surprised that, like, Simone actually does, remember him and, like, is familiar with the situation? Like, she knows that she was restraining ordered and everything?
I mean, yeah, but because when we were talking about it before, we were all, like, insinuating there'd be a memory thing. So, yeah, I was kind of, like, surprised by that.
Well, I mean, it wasn't us. It was the song that she was singing when she met Marshall. Like, it was about that. It was about her, suffering memory loss. So I was expecting that to, like, play some kind of role, and it hasn't yet, I guess.
See what I mean about the restraining order? Like, it just feels so simple. Like, oh yeah, the simplest possible reason that Simone could have stopped being in contact with Marshall is because of a restraining order. So Hannah's so evil, right? She's so evil. She's the main villain of this. I really love Hannah Abdia, by the way. I'm going to repeat what Tulip said about supporting women's wrongs.
Thank you.
And I support many of Hannah's wrongs. But putting the restraining order on Simone was like the whole crossing the line a little bit.
I feel like it's not out of character for her. Like, this random woman that's like hugging on her son, she's like, no, that is not okay. And she just...
True. It is really funny how Hudson is by comparison, though. Like, Hudson didn't give a shit. He just left Marceline in the apocalypse.
Do we want to jump to the next episode then?
Let's.
Yep.
So we got a intro sequence here of backstory of Green Wizards, in the art style of Johnny Peppers from Internet.
Whoa, from Internet.
Yeah, from Internet. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them, but I loved that. I thought
cute.
that looked amazing.
Yeah. I did clock it. I was like, this art style looks familiar. It looks like some funny videos I've seen online. And then I looked it up, and I didn't know her name before this, but it's Johnny Peppers. I think that for me, her most standout work that I remember was a cartoon pilot for Cartoon Hangover called Rachel and Her Grandfather Control the Island, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So the Green Wizards were the shacklers. We probably... I don't remember what we discussed about that, but we probably knew that, right? It wasn't confirmed or anything, but...
We saw that Spirit had been shackled. We didn't know why. We thought there was
Yes.
some cosmic reason for it. Talking of, Dream Spirit Warrior was there.
Yeah, he was guiding them to
And
it.
he's the one who showed them the deer and then led to them shackling it.
Yeah, that does, like...
What's wrong with him?
Like, what is the intention? Like, is that supposed to say something? Because, like, it is, like, what's your goal, bro?
I mean, simplest thing, he wants to increase the amount of magic people in the world.
Yeah, Green Wizards. He wants Green Wizard bros.
Yeah, if we take into account the fact that he used to be called the Spirit of the Forest back in Flute Spell, maybe he thinks it's overall, it's like the greater good of the forest is better if there are wizards, and so it's fine if we just torture this one beast for it. It's sort of an Omelas situation, perhaps.
Terrible. So, pretty early on in the episode, Hannah has pulled out. She's pulled out because Marshall no longer wants to play, and she just confesses to Fiona, yeah, I only wanted to get closer to my son, and if he's not interested, I'm pulling out. As for him and his sweet spot, well, if he's successful, it's going to be a great enterprise for him either way. So she sees this as like a learning experience for Marshall. And then Fiona's like freaking out, and then she receives a phone call from Flame, and she's like, I'm going to kill myself now. And Flame's like, it's not that I can't, it's not that I don't want to make it, it's that I am literally imprisoned. And then we have the scene of him being jettisoned with coffee and being forced to play for the Lemon Cups. Because they're just as vile as their Adventure Time counterparts, I suppose. If not more so.
And apparently Hannah has a button that opens a trapdoor, and she just falls in it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, in her own house as well. Like, she doesn't trapdoor Fiona away, she trapdoors herself away.
But then they get stolen.
Yeah. So Fiona's last words to Cake are, boys night. Save boys night. And then Cake goes on a journey of epic proportions to save boys night for Fiona and Marshall and Gary. And she has this whole arc where she frees Flame Prince, and then she does what should have been done in episode 1, which is that she kicks out all of Queenie's goons, beats up all the immortal people, beats up all of the alien people. I don't remember where they came from, I'll be honest.
They were from Scarab's eggs.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that they all had died, because some of them definitely died in the finale of season 1, but I guess these ones are okay.
And then she just takes over, like, she says fuck the police and just takes over the venue and uses it for boys' night, like, illegally. And it's not like the Lemon Carbs can do anything about it because, first of all, they're in jail, and secondly, they're probably going to get done for kidnapping. So they just have to watch whilst the whole thing happens.
Before we get too deep into it, I just want to mention, I think it's hilarious that DJ Flame did get kidnapped, because when he was missing, everyone thought he was kidnapped, but he was just being irresponsible, but then he actually was kidnapped afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Fiona and Huntress are on trial. And I was like, please be Bandit's voice actor again. Don't recast. What is his name? Orbo?
Yeah. It's Orbo.
Orbo. Who may or may not be Prismo's boss.
I don't think that's Prismo's boss.
He's not. No, he's definitely not. That was explicitly said before.
Last time.
Because Scarab was like, you may be my boss, but you're not the boss.
Oh, yeah.
And then they called the boss, remember?
Oh.
Can I bring up my biggest question that this episode left me with related to Orbo?
Yeah.
Because I watched with subtitles on, and I assume it was also just what he said. Orbo said Jesus.
Oh,
what the hell does that imply about the universe?
I love this. This was a great joke, I think.
Well, maybe because Jesus exists in the Adventure Time past, right? Or is religiously worshipped in the Adventure Time past.
Well, presumably so, yes.
So maybe he just, like, he saw the humans saying Jesus for, like, several thousand years, and he was like, yeah, I speak English, I've stolen their language, I'm going to steal their swears as well.
Yeah, wait, you can rationalize it. Well, I love it for two reasons. One, we've already talked about, it raises a lot of questions about him, considering that he is a god and that he would use a like, casual swear like Jesus. It makes you wonder. Two, because that's such a, like, normal thing to say, that's, like, something, that we recognize from our casual speech patterns in real life. It really fits the vibe that Adventure Time was sort of established with characters like Prismo, of like, yeah, he's a god and he's really powerful, but he's also just a chill guy that you like to hang out with.
Yeah.
Like it's making Orbo feel like more of a real person, I feel, in that way.
Yeah, I get it.
So I think it really lends itself to that, and I'm glad that they used a real swear there and not an Adventure Time swear, which, to be fair, I am feeling the lack of a little bit when we're spending so much time in Fiona World, which is a normal city with normal people in it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Fiona still says schmauzau sometimes. But in this specific case, I'm glad that they said Jesus. I think it was really funny.
But Tipsy brought up something that gets me thinking, too. That they all speak English. When you really think about it, what's up with that, man?
They don't just all speak English, they've been speaking English for, like, eternity, as far as we know. Or it's like they invented it. But, like, we know there's more than one language in Adventure Time. But yeah, we had a scene with Cosmic Owl's brother 2 episodes ago when they killed Cosmic Owl, and that scene reminded us of Cosmic Crimes. so that was sort of warming us up for this entire scene. When the Cosmic Owl died, I was like, isn't that a cosmic crime? Shouldn't they be taken immediately? But it seems like they were recoiling so much from what happened that it took them all this time to get Scarab's statement and report it.
Yeah, maybe they didn't know for a little bit, but I guess Scarab would have maybe said something right away, right?
It took place in a dream, right? And dreams are the Cosmic Owl's domain, so maybe the Cosmic Owl would usually be the first person to know.
Yeah, but apparently Prismo's TV has direct access into people's brains as well as just being able to see any universe.
True.
And assuming that he was flipping through dream channels, somebody else was dreaming about Rumblejaw, which is the clearest image we've ever seen of that in the show, I think.
You're right, Rumblejaw exists somewhere.
They threw me a bone too. There's a Jake car, and I was like, "It's him. It's Jake. He's in this season."
Jake is still alive in the car universe.
Yep. There he was. I mean, I didn't expect even a cameo because it's clear that John DiMaggio is not part of this season at all. So I'm like, oh my god.
Why is he not part of this fucking season?
I mean, I guess he doesn't have to be. But he could have been a construction worker or something. I don't know.
Did they really go, okay, we're going to make a season of Adventure Time and John DiMaggio's not going to be in it at all?
Yeah, but they made sure that they got Old Lady Princess's actor, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't think they decided that, point one and then built up off it. I think that it sort of resulted in that based on the story that they were telling.
Usually they do the opposite. They go, okay, there's no Jake in this season, but we'll have John DiMaggio voice some other character instead. Like they did with Prismo's voice actor. Or Steve Little in Wizard City.
Fair. True.
Which, I mean, I would think, maybe it's budget, maybe DiMaggio costs a bit because he was the main character and stuff. But I mean, Prismo's actor probably costs a bit too because he's a bigger actor now too. So
yeah,
yeah. And he at this point in the season, I am feeling that it is more likely that Adam Muto was in fact correct when he said that we wouldn't be getting any more Prismo answers this season.
Yeah, true.
Oh my god, poor Prismo. His life is shit at the moment.
Oh yeah. Sad for him. Chan, did you feel like you got the W with Car Jake cameo, but did you feel like you took an L when Prismo was like, I was putting Jake on a pedestal, Cosmic Owl was really my main man?
Oh no. Yeah, thought he said number one.
No, that's not what he said. He said I thought Jake was my number one, but I underestimated you, Cosmic Owl. You're always there for me. So he's double mourning now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Plus, he's been mourning Jake for who knows how long at this point. Prismo's not going to be okay.
Can Prismo just make another universe where Jake's alive and then watch him on TV for the rest of his life?
Isn't that what he did?
Well, that's illegal.
Didn't he do that? Kind of. There was an alive Jake in one of the universes last season.
I just assumed that was a later ooh.
No, because there was an alive Jake and Finn had the Jake tattoo.
Yeah, to this day I have no idea the implications of that because I assumed that was just ooh, but
it could be a dream.
It could have been a dream. That's true. We know that now. I feel like it was supposed to be just a flashback of regular Ooh timeline.
Yeah. But why would he have the Jake tattoo with the forget-me-nots on? That doesn't make any sense. He wouldn't have the Jake tattoo
it doesn't,
if Jake was alive. So it must have been either a different Ooh where Jake somehow was alive the whole time and didn't die because it was a different-looking Finn, right? Slightly different Finn. Or it's a dream. Now, to be honest, I think the most sensible response would be that it's a dream.
There's also the possibility that we just are wrong about it being a remembrance tattoo.
Maybe Jake is not dead. Have you considered that?
Wait a minute. I can subscribe to this.
Jake just went to get milk.
But yeah,
Yeah, they killed Cosmic Owl, and Scarab has all the evidence for it because he saw them disposing of the body.
Yeah.
But there's a whole Ace Attorney sequence where Fiona specifically cross-examines him, which I'm pretty sure is just a straight-up reference to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
I mean, it's don't real courtrooms have cross-examinations too?
I don't think the culprit says. I don't think the accused says, "Your Honor, I'm going to cross-examine the witness," and then the Your Honor says, "Yeah, sure, go ahead."
Yeah, well, the defendant wouldn't do it, but that doesn't really happen in Ace Attorney either.
It does.
they didn't have real courtrooms until Ace Attorney came out.
It does happen in Ace Attorney when Phoenix Wright is the one who's been accused.
Well, yes, but he's also defending himself.
Yeah, like Fiona.
That's true.
So yeah, this whole sequence. You didn't actually witness the scene of the murder, which is another very common trope in Ace Attorney.
Interesting here, Huntress Wizard, at first, when they first arrived there, she starts to say, like, "You're here because of me," and I guess turn herself in? Is that what she was gonna do?
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't want Fiona to suffer the same. I think this like indicates growth on Huntress's part because at the start of the season she'd have probably just blamed Fiona for it.
You think? I mean, she is the Huntress Wizard. I think she might have, been proud of her kill here.
I mean, yeah, but she's also like Huntress Wizard is very single-minded about saving Finn. If she gets thrown into super space jail, Finn dies.
True.
So her first thought would probably be to get the blame off herself and leave Fiona to deal with the consequences. But she'd have never gotten this far if it wasn't for Fiona. And Fiona helped us save Finn from the Cosmic Owl.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been undergoing like the idea of asking people for help recently. And she thinks that Fiona has some connection to the heart. So like she's been bonding somewhat with Fiona and Cake and doesn't want to fuck them over. So I think you're right. I think Huntress was going to like give herself up, even if it meant that she couldn't see Finn again.
I mean, what is she thinking then? Like, that she's done all she can? Just like, well, Finn's not immediately gonna die because I solved the death dream problem, but I guess this is the end of the road for me. Fiona, you take the rest from here.
Probably.
Is the implication that no one dies in OO unless there's croak dreams? Like, is that how it works?
I don't think so, because that would be, that would be crazy.
Like, what? Like, when does someone have a croak dream versus just dying? I don't think we know that.
I guess it's when they have some kind of, fated future event that needs to be predicted.
Yeah. But then Fiona's defense works, and they get out, right?
Yeah, she blames it on Finn, and then we don't see much more for argument, although I do really like this scene where it's cutting back and forth between the Marshmallow Kid rapping and Fiona, like, telling lies, perjuring herself.
Princess Bubblegum had a croak dream, but she didn't die.
When did Bubblegum have a croak dream?
In Ogolog, actually. Is it Ogolog? No, Hoots, actually. She was forced to have a croak dream. Gunter basically forced Cosmic Owl into her dream, and she dreamt of being knocked off of the Candy Kingdom Tower and into, like, some goo or something, wherein she melted. And everyone watching it was like, oh shit, it's a croak dream. Princess Bubblegum is foreshadowed to die. And the Cosmic Owl just turned to Gunter and said, what have you done? This dream's going to come true now.
Well, but that dream wasn't about her dying. It was about her losing the kingdom, which did come true.
That's true. But she did sort of die in that dream.
Yeah, I was going to say I took it as her losing her kingdom, but she did die and Cosmic Owl was there, so it's kind of funny.
So it's going to happen one day. She's going to die like that one day. Maybe not in the exact same circumstances, though. But that could happen a million years from now, so who even knows?
Yeah, or maybe Huntress Wizard is right, and now that the Cosmic Owl is dead, all croak dreams are null and void.
Yeah. So
Finn did it. Apparently, she pins on Finn. And she says it felt like the right thing to do.
This is so fucked up. He's dying. He's been wanting to die for, like, a long time so he can see his brother again, and he's nothing but like the most heroic and kindest person. And then she like gets him sentenced to 1,000 years of torture potentially. But at the same time, what else could she have done in that moment?
Blame it on Queenie.
Yeah. But there's also another factor to this as well. That why it might have been a good idea. If she blames Finn, then they're going to do everything they can to keep Finn alive so that he can have a trial.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think she was thinking that, though. Because if she was, she could have said that to Huntress Wizard to make her less mad at her.
Yeah. But, well, maybe she didn't know that either. But that's what can actually happen. They can use all of their godly powers that they have to try and keep Finn alive and wake him up so that he can have a trial.
Anyway, there's some deliberation about it. Orbo says, you guys can go for now, but don't leave town. And then they return to the world, and Fiona has her little freak out that we can get more into. Meanwhile, Huntress Wizard discovers where the heart actually is, and immediately begins trying to get herself back to Ooh to save Finn, which makes sense. But don't you think if she had succeeded and left right away, wouldn't that count as leaving town?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that maybe be an additional cosmic crime on her record in a way?
Oh shit! But if she leaves, if she goes into the green, that's technically outside of the realm of the multiverse.
Yeah.
So that's how they can escape their cosmic crime. They can go into the fallen world, and that will be leaving town. They won't be able to be taken in.
Yeah, but then they'd have to live there forever.
They could just stay there until things blow over. If 3,000 years should do it.
All right, yeah, sorry, can't argue with that.
So Marshall got a song. Woohoo!
He did.
And it was really good, and it wasn't Rebecca. I don't know why I have to say that every time. It's just it wasn't Rebecca Sugar, but it was good.
It was evil.
Yeah, it was Evil returning for the third time in 3 Adventure Time series at this point.
Was Evil in the first season?
The first season of Fionna and Cake, no, but she was in Wizard City, and she did the correct me if I'm wrong, the slow dance song from Marcy and Hudson in the original series, right?
I just want to slow dance with you. Yeah, and that one had a ghost BB doing the backup voices. And this episode had someone doing the backup voices to Marshall as well, but I can't remember who it was.
Oh, that was Evil.
No, it was Evil, but there was a character as well doing it who was voicing Evil somehow.
Oh? I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, there was a character doing the backup voices for Marshall. I can't remember who it was. It was some really funny choice of character for some reason.
I have to say, as much as I support Marshall and love them succeeding, I don't think that DJ Flame fans would have liked that song at all. I think they would have been like, what is this indie garbage? Give me DJ Flame. It was just funny that they were all into it.
Okay, you worded that better than I would have. I was gonna say, not a bad song, but I don't feel like it warrants the response it gets.
The character who backed up Marshall was the one guy with the diamond eyes who works for Hannah.
It was a Damon, I think, which he's called because he's just a generic demon from the Night of Sphere.
He also has a tambourine as well, and is providing the additional music. And I really liked this touch because there's a scene in Adventure Time Obsidian, Zuzu's song, which is very overproduced, and has Marceline's voice being distorted and all that, which is not how Adventure Time does things. Adventure Time likes to keep it natural. And Marshall's voice does have some tweaking in the scene, but it's not noticeable in the same way, and there's an in-universe explanation for the tambourine and the backup actors as well, even though he's playing an electric bass on what appears to be a banjo.
They love doing that, though.
He's just that good.
Yeah, he's just that good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the current voice actor is doing a great job. I did see someone say, like, man, Childish Gambino would have fucking killed this song, and I was like, yeah, he would have.
Chris Collins is doing it fine.
Yeah.
And then Fiona receives all the credit for the things that Cake did. Everyone is like, wow, Fiona, you did such a great job at putting this concert together, like finding this venue, getting all these actors together, and making it go well. And then Hannah, like, scouts Fiona. Flame thinks Fiona did it as well. Marshall thinks Fiona did it. And poor Cake.
Okay, well, you can't just say Cake did everything, because that's wrong. And that's sort of validating Fiona's, like, self-doubt about this whole thing.
No, Cake did it for Fiona, and that's important, I think. Like, Cake put in loads of work and, like, really pushed herself to her limits to make this go well.
Yeah, she stole the cameras and put her arms all over town. And
vandalized a bunch of things.
And Bandit Prince tried to steal. It was funny.
Yeah, that's good.
Cake just collapses at the end of it out of exhaustion. But she does it for Fiona because she cares about her so much, and she knows that Fiona has just been breaking her back over this. It's not like a slight on Fiona, it's like, this is how much Cake cares. But what Cake doesn't know is that Fiona is hurt by this because Fiona didn't get to do it herself.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, Fiona comes back to the world and, sees that it was a success without her, and she, gets really in her feelings about it. Thinking that she wasn't necessary, but she, like, definitely was. Like, not only did she get DJ Flame involved, which, like, let's be honest, all these people wouldn't have shown up if not for that, and she was the one behind most of the planning before, like, the last second when things went wrong, and to be fair, Cake worked hard to correct it. But also, it was Fiona's name drop that, like, got people to, from all over the city who weren't even there when Cake sort of extended herself to reach the goal. She was like, do it for Fiona, and that's what got everyone to donate. And this is the thing, this is like the fundamental mistake, I think, that Fiona's been making the whole time, is that she, like, doesn't see herself as having value unless she's doing something for someone else, even though clearly she's only helping them to, like, give herself the feeling of, like, success and having value in that way. But, like, she never considered just asking people for help for her. When her name is the one that got everyone to give the money, like, obviously, this, no one's ever heard of Gary and Marshall in this world, or the Sweet Spot, the restaurant that doesn't exist yet. A fundraiser for that is going to be hard to pull people. However, Fiona and Cake, the girls that saved the entire world recently, their names are going to pull more weight. They just never tried that until now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I agree with all that.
And I can also link in the description a post that my brother made that pointed something out that I didn't notice, which is that Cake was using Fiona's name in lieu of her own here. She was doing all the work, like, for Fiona and, on Fiona's sort of plan, generally speaking. And in doing so, like, really showing off to the world, her, like, she's using her body to its fullest extent in order to make this, to pull this thing off, right? So based on what her arc in the season has been, this is also a low point for Cake, which I think is a good reading. And I didn't get it when I watched the episode because the episode doesn't put, like, any point on it in that way. It more so, it gives a moment to Cake, like, not getting to have the moment she wanted with Monochromicorn. That's sort of in this episode, the resolution of that, which is, sort of, like, unhappy, and neither of them liked it, and it wasn't what they wanted it to be. But, like, in terms of Cake, like, literally showing herself off to everyone in the city, I'm curious to see what her reaction or anyone else's reaction to that will be going forward, because we didn't get a lot of it in this episode, I think.
Well, there's definitely going to be a fallout next episode of some kind.
Yeah. Also, just in case my mom was listening to this podcast, when I say my brother, I'm not talking about the person that you're probably thinking of.
Okay, lore. Okay,
That's crazy
Yeah, sure.
to just say that.
No, I can say I have three brothers. One is related by blood, one who's earned the title, and thirdly is Finn the human from Adventure Time, because we grew up together.
So Finn did it.
Finn made the post.
I could say his name. It's Pork Chips from YouTube. We've done YouTube Let's Plays together. Is who I'm talking about.
Yeah, so Fiona crashes out, as the kids say.
She so does.
Talking of crashing out, there's a brief moment where Fiona thinks, like, maybe this isn't so bad, because Flame goes up to her and is immediately, like, all over her, and she's all over him, and then he puts his hand to her face, and... Oh, God. I'm so sorry, Fiona. The hand is replaced by the dead Simon Petrikov's corpse hand, and she starts shaking. And then Flame Prince says the worst, probably like the most sexist line any character has ever said in the show so far. Haha, you're shaking! And I want to smash his head with a chair because he thinks that she's shaking because she's just so excited to be hugging him and making out with him when she's having a trauma response. What a fucking scumbag.
Well, yes, absolutely he is a scumbag for doing this. But it's also, like, Fiona's, like, pushing through her own trauma here. I think in this moment she has processed absolutely nothing yet. And, like, you know, when she does process these thoughts, it leads her to a bad place. But right in this moment, she's like, okay, this is this thing with a success. That's good. Flame, you know, DJ Flame is interested in me. I wanted that. You know, maybe I can make this thing work. Maybe I can just, like, power through the, like, dead Simon flashbacks. And boy, does that not work out for her.
No, it doesn't. She forces it. She's so staggered by her reaction that she just forces a kiss on him without any thought for it. And he takes it and he kisses her back. And Fennel and Hunter are watching. And Fiona's reaction after this is really telling. Her first thought is for Fennel. That she hurt Fennel. Like, she spent the whole season just wanting to get Flame Prince back and take him back from Fennel. But then she had the entire episode when she and Fennel became bros, except that didn't really happen, but it sort of did. So she likes Fennel now and wants to be a friend, and then she throws it away. All for this scumbag.
Like, DJ Flame being this way isn't new to her, right? You know, he was the one who broke up before, you know, in a similarly, like, douchebag kind of way. But you know, now she doesn't, like, it's not just her feelings that are on the line anymore is the thing. She probably always knew this was a possibility, a likely possibility, because he had a girlfriend already. But, like, you know, she maybe thought, oh, but it's worth it if I can, like, be with him for a little bit longer. But now, like, not only has she hurt herself, but she also hurt Fennel.
And it broke my heart. I hate it. I love Fennel.
And I think in that moment, Fiona realises she values her relationship with Fennel more than she values that kiss from Flame Prince. And she's just lost it. And she might never get it back. And she's made Fennel run away and cry, and she's really hurt her. And Fiona just feels terrible. Like, she feels absolutely terrible. Everything is going wrong. Flame Prince, I need to point out what Flame Prince said. He said something like, it's nothing serious.
It didn't mean
we were
anything.
just vibing.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything. We were just vibing.
So...
And Flame Prince, it really hurts Fiona, because Fiona really wanted it to mean something.
Yes.
And it hurts Fennel because, what the fuck?
I mean, also, what the fuck about that moment happening at all? Like, he approached her here, and it's like, yeah, I guess that's what Fiona has been bargaining on. You know, she wanted this, but like, all their previous interactions this season, like, he never knew that she wanted that. the closest thing is that, I feel like the show is kind of implying to us that the dream they saw was actually DJ Flames. But like, even in that case, he didn't know that Fiona saw the same dream just because she talked about having a dream. Like,
I'm pretty sure that was Fennel's dream. I still think that was Fennel's dream. Because Fennel and Hunter have like a bit of a dance here as well. So they have chemistry. And Fennel has witnessed that all of these people that she loves also have chemistry with Fiona and really like her. But she has the opposite reaction to Fiona about it. Like, whereas Fiona was like, I'm going to destroy Fennel. Fennel was like, man, why can't I be awesome like Fiona and have all these people love me as well? Which is much more of a Fern reaction, in my opinion. So I still think that was Fennel's dream.
Well, regardless, I guess even though she never told him, Flame maybe this whole time was like, yeah, she probably wants me back. I'm that cool.
Yeah. Someone described him to me on Tumblr. They said that Flame is everything that Bubblegum was afraid Flame Princess would be. And I replied, a walking nuke? And they said, no, he's a burning flame that hurts everyone who gets close to him. And I like, that's not quite what she was afraid of, but I see where you're coming from. Because there is a lot of that with Flame Princess in the show. Every time Finn gets close to her, he gets hurt. Especially in season 4, when they first start dating, and they just sort of have to push through that. But then that sort of goes away in season 5, when they have their breakup arc. It stops becoming a thing. So I suppose Flame Prince is hot to the touch.
Mm. I guess being a man is what made the difference there. He was raised with a lot of confidence in this world.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of Adventure Time is like men really suck as well. It does sort of fall into that trap a lot, like Homestuck did. All of the men in Homestuck sucked as well.
Oh, but it's not just men. As we've said before, Fiona really sucks here.
Yeah, but she's the main character, so we get to see like an in-depth 25 million list of reasons why she sucks and what she's doing about it. Talking of, she destroys the sweet spot.
Yes, after thinking that the thing she worked so hard for was achieved without her, she vents her feelings with some what is it, like a bulldozer or something?
She's just destroying some, like, she gets the bulldozer, and the only thing that she intends to destroy is, like, the chairs, the lawn chairs. Mm. But she loses control of it and tries to avoid destroying the sweet spot and catastrophically fails, destroying Gary's camper van and Marshall's camper van.
I was gonna say, I thought it was specifically Marshall's, but I guess Marshall's is the top one, right?
Marshall's landed on Gary's, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And all of their stuff is, I assume, destroyed as well.
Yeah, it's also crazy that Cairo Siphon was sleeping in there. I guess he just is homeless.
Maybe he's at the concert.
I think he was at the end. Yeah, he was.
He was at the concert. Yeah.
He saw it on TV and then went there.
So that's why he's not there. That's why Queenie's not there as well. She's at home watching TV.
Anyway, Fiona, get it. Fiona, you go, girl. I've been there. I've had moments in my life where I wish I had some heavy machinery I could vent my feelings with.
I don't think Marshall should talk to Fiona ever again, if I'm being honest. I'm like, maybe I'm just at that age where I've cut out certain toxic people from my life, but I'm like, she has crossed so many boundaries and now she's destroyed your home. It's like, you need to take space from each other now.
Okay, but here's the thing, Chan. They've raised $70,000 to buy this crappy little patch of land that's worth nothing from Queenie. Why don't they just buy a house?
That's true.
They could rent a shop for 4 years or something with that kind of money.
That would piss Fiona off even more. She'd be like, I did this so you get the sweet spot back, not a cool apartment.
why are they fixating on this crappy patch of land? Why don't they just go somewhere else? It's because Fiona wants to win. She wants to beat Queenie. Maybe now that she's destroyed the sweet spot, her friends are going to go, well, that's fucking terrible, but we'll just build it again with this £70,000 that you helped us raise. And Fiona's like, no, this was supposed to be my dramatic U-turn of being a terrible person who's irredeemable. You can't be okay with this. And it'll drive her crazy. But I do think that's where we're going with this. I think they're just going to give up on the sweet spot, and then Queenie's going to be enraged that she's lost, that she's 70 grand down, and now her sweet spot has been trashed.
Maybe. I mean, that would fit into my butterfly prediction from before, that Fiona's plan is just going to fail, but that's what she needs to get better.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I don't know. Marshall forgiving her at this point, like, seems crazy to me.
It would make sense if Marshall cuts her off, but I think Fiona is someone who needs a lot of help right now. And Marshall, as the person he currently is, I don't think he could just turn his back on a friend like that, even if they did something messed up like that.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a people pleaser, so...
True.
I don't know if he's at an emotional space to do like something like that for his own mental health. I think he'd probably put her first, even though it is bad. And I'm like, I hate that.
I was thinking in episode 7 that Marshall is nothing like Marceline at all. Like we were focused so much on Gary, we didn't realize how different Marshall was from Marceline. Because Marceline wouldn't take any of the shit that Gary took. If Hansa did any of the things that Hannah did to Marshall, or if Finn did any of the things that Fiona did to Marshall, then heads would roll. Like, imagine if Hanson stopped Marceline from seeing Simon. Mm-hmm. They would have a fight to the death. It didn't result in either of them dying, but there would be blood.
But that's good. That's why we had that flashback of Marshall as a kid. Like, that does a lot of implying of, like, he's really kind of scared of her and stuff.
Yeah, it's a completely different relationship.
Speaking of dying, you reminded me that we forgot about the scene when Bubblegum used her ball blam burglar on the...
Oh, yeah!
Yeah. She fucking shot it.
She had to put it out of its misery.
And they had like a Hall of Egress nod too. It was nice.
Oh, I love that. I clapped when I saw it, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yeah.
I wonder if Bubblegum thinks she killed Finn.
Oh, I doubt it. I don't know. Oh, well, when she disappeared? Actually, that's a good point. Because he did disappear immediately after that happened.
There's nothing but like a hole in the floor. It did sound like Finn had died, and then she turned around, and the situation is way more bizarre than that. There's just like a giant hole in the floor, and nobody knows where he is. The only reason we know where he is because the same hole was left in the floor when Fiona and Huntress were taken up earlier in the episode.
Yeah, sorry, I jumped ahead because I forgot that was after the Fiona thing, because we didn't talk about Huntress yet.
Yeah, so back to Huntress Wizard. Okay, I said earlier, I'm not sure, exactly what the Dream Warrior prophecy means. This is my interpretation of it with the information we have so far, and I think it's kind of weak, and I'm hoping there's more on it. But so, I guess Fiona was like destined to have this kiss with DJ Flame, which goes badly for her, and so she ends up running away, and going to the sweet spot, and then Huntress Wizard chases after her, and in doing so, like, discovers the roses, and then realizes that the heart of the forest in this world is not in one central location. It's actually, like, all over the place. And, like, that's what she was asking about. So I guess that's that. But then, she actually meets up with Fiona again, and just having the roses isn't working. So she's like, Fiona, I need your help, which is why I'm like, yeah, Fiona's the tool that she needs in this situation.
What if we try cutting off your hand?
Yeah.
Can we try something else first?
Yeah, it's like whatever it takes.
The way Fiona was actually like limping away for a little bit in that scene, but we wonder is she gonna lose her leg instead of her arm?
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
Anyway, I do like the roses being the heart of the forest. I think it might also just not specifically be the roses. It might just be all plants, and maybe that's why the trees, because the trees being able to see into the past or the future thing isn't specific to the one tree like I thought it was. I guess it's kind of just like a thing you can do in any tree, because I guess it makes sense that, trees have roots. Roots is a common metaphor that people use to talk about connections to the past. That's what I was thinking about that. Also, is that magic? To go back to much earlier, because I didn't think she could do... Anyway, I like that it's the roses, because that makes it make sense why in the first episode of the season, Fiona got that cut on her hand that looked identical to the, gash in Finn's back that you got from the heart of the forest. It was not, as I suspected, because of some, extra cosmic link that's still, keeping the two of them intertwined somehow. It's just because they both had a similar experience of, hunter/huntress wizard, guiding them to this place, even though Huntress Wizard didn't want to be doing that. She did by telling him about it. Guiding them to this place with the plant where they got hurt by it. It just happened. It was just one of those coincidences.
So why isn't Fiona dying? Because she got scratched by the heart of the forest as well. Shouldn't she be dying?
Yeah, well, it's because in her universe, the heart of the forest is just a rose. And it's not, an ancient god.
It will be when Huntress is done with it.
That's ominous.
And then, of course, we end off there. And another scene that I love with Huntress Wizard being like, we need to get inside your head to help me solve this mystery. And Fiona's like, no, oh god, I don't want to look inward right now. She, hates herself in this moment. But of course, Huntress Wizard is going to do so anyway, and I think them exploring each other's psyches in the next episode is also going to be quite Yuri-ful, in a similar way to how I was describing before.
I think it's going to be a horror episode.
Oh, it can be both. It should be, actually.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I stand by what I said before about Yuri in this season, which is I had low expectations for it, essentially. And I'll take metaphor between Fiona and Huntress Wizard, and I'm happy with that. But I was never expecting what happened with Fennel. That was so much better, actually.
Honestly, Yuri, everyone's like, no, we can't have the Yuri self-cessed, and they're a bunch of cowards, frankly. If you're gonna make out with other than your clone?
Real. I know, self-cessed is such a funny thing to get mad about, because it's, not possible, it's just not real.
I personally make out with myself in the mirror every time I see a mirror.
Yeah, plus, Fennel isn't even a clone of Fiona at all. She's just, in the way that Fern did in Adventure Time, kind of trying to become Fiona. And probably not to replace her, but also maybe to replace her. I don't think it's a coincidence that she's dating the same guy after Fiona broke up with him.
Well, Fennel is literally, unrelated to Fiona. As far as we know, they could come around and say, actually, they have, the same something. But I don't think they're going to do that at this stage. No, not after the Yuri self-cessed. So, Tulip, I think these episodes were great. I think, up to this point, the season has really struggled to find its seating. But now it's sort of shown its true colours, which is that it does whatever the hell it wants. And it can be almost episodic as a result. It can have one episode where there's loads of death and dying and Finn gets killed 100 times, but it's a dream, so it's not really him dying 100 times. They can kill the Cosmic Owl, though, and that's real. And then they can have an episode where everyone just goes to a fun concert and has a great time. And also there's a cosmic trial. And also everyone gets high and goes to Mars and just messes around on Venus for the whole episode. And that's an episode. It's this is what the first season... the second season has lost a lot of things from the first season, right? It's lost, like, the emotional narrative that powered through the Simon story in the first season. It doesn't have the Adventure Time multiverse exploration. But this season does have things that were completely missing from the first season, which is the episodic nature, just the ability to do weird and random things without having to worry about whether they tie into something greater than themselves. And just having fun fucking around with all the characters in your toolbox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that I think episode 8 did a good job of like having every plot come up, you know, like even like Cake's thing, which is her stretching out, and the little bit of Simone and all that. Like, I think everything really came together in that episode.
I always respect Adventure Time's storytelling. Like, I don't know, it just explores interesting concepts that aren't just like, I don't know, I think sometimes it makes people upset because they want everything to work out, and they're like, Fiona sucks, this season sucks, and I'm like you said, I love watching, like, people be awful. It's just, I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I could say it universally that way, but I love seeing Fiona ruin her life.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess I'm gonna love seeing her, you know, develop and grow out of that too. But it's just like every decision that Fiona has made, like it feels, you know, like realistic. I don't know. It feels like I can understand where she's coming from, and I'm happy to see her let it all out.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I just wonder how much they'll get through in 2 episodes. I'm like, oh man.
Well, they don't have to worry about getting through as much as they did last season. That's for sure, because they could feasibly like end the show in the next episode, and it would make sense. But obviously, the final act is going to be about Fiona specifically and what's going on in her head, and sort of grappling with that. Whereas Finn, I think the Finn situation is just going to, it's probably going to resolve itself, which I'm not that bothered by because it was only a side plot in this season anyway.
Yeah.
Like, nobody expected Finn to actually die. And it's not even like something that the season is focused on. It's almost like some flavorful background plot that's fueling that's fueling some of the drama in this season.
I have a question. Do you think that they will have to replace Fate's Messenger, and if so, who would it be?
Well, it should be Huntress Wizard, right?
Do you think that's where this is going? Like,
well, if you think of Together Again, Mr. Fox killed Death and he became New Death. So going by the logic that killing Death is not a cosmic crime, but you have to become Death if you kill Death, then if killing the Cosmic Owl is not a cosmic crime, or maybe it is a cosmic crime and that's the punishment for it.
They said specifically it was a cosmic crime.
Yeah, but what if it's not defined as a cosmic crime due to the trial? But where I think we're going with this is that Huntress Wizard should be the replacement for the Cosmic Owl. But Huntress Wizard
And she spares Finn, do you think?
She's never going to do it. Let's be real.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that would be a good resolution to her character, to be honest.
I don't think I would enjoy that, but I do wonder.
Well, she's the first thing that comes to thought, right? So there could be a different character who becomes Cosmic Owl. They could get Cosmic Owl's brother to become Cosmic Owl, for example.
True, they could do that. I don't know, get like the squirrel to do it.
The squirrel becomes Cosmic Owl.
Then it's not too different from the fox getting it, so.
That's true.
Cosmic Squirrel.
Hell yeah.
Should we end the episode on Cosmic Squirrel?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Sure. I just need you guys to understand how obsessed I am with Fennel. You'd think in the first episode of the first season, when she was on that bus tour, she was like she was probably there specifically because Fiona was doing the guiding of it. Because everyone
my
on there
God.
was like, everyone on there obviously was from the city and knows all this shit already because nothing else exists in the world at that point except for the city. But like, you know, do you think she was like eating up Fiona's bullshit about dream analysis and stuff? Think she was like, no, she probably has a point.
I would say, yeah, I agree with that now.
You telling me she fell in love with Fiona on the fucking bus?
No, I'm saying
before it.
I'm saying before that.
Yeah.
I'm saying she was there to see her.
Yeah. But no, that's wonderful. Have you stopped recording now?
I have now.